Good evening, folks. Welcome to Frost Esports. This evening, we are sponsored by Trolley, and I am your host of the evening, Ice Cold Brew, here to watch the action as it heats up. And joining me in the booth today is the king of the action himself, Cobra. Good evening, Cobra.
Good evening, good evening. So glad to be here. So glad looking at this tournament here, number 94. And, we've had some action already, but we're starting off the night. Big Truck going up against Nightblood Gaming, who both of them coming off a pretty difficult series beforehand, both having to go the distance of that best of three here.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And of course, this is, if I remember correctly, quarterfinals right now. We're going to do a best of three going into this as both teams are getting ready. And I've seen Nightblood Gaming in action before, able to make some fantastic passing plays, playing really aggressive and coming in for the demos. But I'm going to be very interested to see how Big Truck is able to compensate for that and how they're able to take them down as they get ready for this matchup. Any big favorites that you have so far, Cobra?
Yeah, well, I feel like Big Truck, has kind of come into this one, and I feel like they're in a very good position to make some noise here. But they do have to be mindful of the midfield here, and my oh my, they might need to be mindful of the kickoffs as well. First goal going to Nightblood Gaming straight away.
Yeah, you can see Wu just, the wheel trips over on that one blade of grass in the field and misses the kickoff entirely. Yolk's just able to take control. Now Quarantai once again takes control of this kickoff, brings it up towards the center, looks to get a pass down to Yokes. Yokes passes over Optic. Ball almost on target. Vivid with the save. Corn Knight tries to clean up, but Tyro comes in and shuts that down immediately. Now we have Vivid taking it off the side. Awkward flip, awkward touch. Ball passed out to the half-court line, but Tyro with a smart touch keeps it forward, keeps it in control there as Yokes has the possession. Vivid comes off the top. Optic, a little bit too far as it heads off into that corner, and we can see Wu breaking away and gets challenged at that half-court line.
Yeah, good offensive opportunity here for Big Truck, and then maybe an opportunity for them to take a little bit more control of the pace here. Nightblood Gaming, they took no time to kind of set the pace. A goal off the kickoff will do that for you, but so far they've had the more threatening opportunities, but it's up to Big Truck, up to Wu to try and make something happen, and we'll do it at the goal line. A wonderful threatening shot in the follow-up to get the dunk for the goal.
Wu out here breaking ankles, forcing Yokes to try to come in back post, tries to get that save, but doesn't put enough power on it. And Wu, anticipating the touch, just dives on top of them and just bodies his way in, trying to force that ball in. Ties up the game 1-1, but it looks like Nightblood Gaming's not giving up in this fight yet, not giving them a moment to breathe. Ball centered on target, a little bit too high as it comes off the backboard. Quarantai tries to come in and clean up. Wu with the save, Optic with the demo in the background. Vivid passes it upfield over to Yokes. Yokes gets his pass shut down by Tyro. Tyro backboard over to Vivid, and Optic comes off the backboard for that save, but Wu, not enough boost to finish off that play though, as Tyro and Vivid make a connection, ball coming down off the backboard, no one's there to pick up the call, and it is off and away for Nightblood Gaming.
Yeah, Nightblood, you got to be really careful because now they're starting to really get challenged on that back line. A good shot towards target. It's going to be another one. Waterfall down, and Vivid will be the first one up. Top left corner for the second score of the game.
Nightblood Gaming just not able to complete that rotation there. Quarantai gets tied up in the back of the net. Can't come out for that squishy save. Gives plenty of time for Vivid to come in for that cleanup off the pass from Tyro. But now, Big Truck looks for another opportunity here. Tyro puts a shot on, denied by Quarantai, as Optic passes it upfield, sends it up, tries to buy a little bit of time for the team. Still focusing on this ball, brings off the backboard. Yokes misses the connection there, and that ball is just sailing back over to Nightblood Gaming's defensive half. Can Tyro finish the play? Optic with the savior, though, wants to keep this with a 1-point game, but maybe Optic can put it in, puts it in, top shelf, ties it up 2-2.
Yeah, this one just testing the defense. There's a little bit of space, and Optic will be willing to test it, willing to test how quickly your rotations can come through. Unfortunately for Big Truck, not quick enough there. And we're starting to see that Nightblood, I think they're they're getting away from trying to force too many opportunities. I think earlier they had so much success, they expected more and maybe got themselves in a few difficult positions. Now realizing that they just have to play their game, they have to stay present on the ball and not force, the issue too much here, and they can stay competitive. They know they have the ability to do so, but Big Truck, they just don't care.
Yeah, Big Truck just maintains this level of aggression. Corntai thinks he has a soft touch, instead stomps down on Yokes, just opening up that perfect opportunity just to place the ball right behind both of them. Brings Big Truck back up by 1. And we're looking at the stats right now, too. You can see Nightblood Gaming has been on their back foot most of this game. Pretty even across the board outside of the 3-2 scoreline, but Nightblood Gaming has been on the defensive half for a majority of it right now. 6 saves between all the players. But Corntai sends it upfield, gets in the corner, Tyro denies, brings it back in. Yokes challenges Woo in the corner. Vivid takes the ball up to Woo. Tyro can't take that pass, so as Corntai pops it up, maybe looking for a pass to Optic in this moment. Doesn't make it work out as Vivid takes that ball. Yokes taking it right on back and keeping it on Big Truck's half.
Yeah, we're starting to see a little bit more of a back and forth here in this game. But, Big Truck, they're looking to hold on here as Nightblood, trying to kind of build back up to their form. But the passes for Big Truck starting to come out. Tyro, a little bit of space. We'll leave it off to Vivid, and they can't quite get the angle. It will be Woo not giving up on the play just yet, but Nightblood Gaming, they will clear the lines for now. We'll be back in possession for Big Truck, and now Big Truck really finding each other across the field, passing out of their defensive third. They're looking really dangerous here, Brew.
They're looking extremely dangerous right now. And you can see Optic with that fantastic save tries to carry it through, but I feel like anytime they try to bring the ball up in the air, Big Truck's waiting for them. Big Truck has the path, they have the opening, and they're demanding clearance just to bring that ball in. Tyra, though, takes it from the half-court line, passes it down to Woo. Woo, close shot off target, just enough to get it cleared by Nightblood Gaming. Corntai, though, wants to bring it down center. Unfortunately, can't make a pass out to the team. Tyro, flip reset, gets blocked. 50, heads over to the side. Vivid tries to bring it off the backboard. Yokes was there waiting for them, though. And now Yokes passes over to Corntai. Corntai, a little bit too hard on the touch as well. Brings it a little bit too far for anyone to pick it up. But now we see Nightblood Gaming needs to get back on defense. Tyro looking for a double tap, and Yokes comes in, clears it out, and saves the day. And another chance. 20 seconds on the clock. They need to get one more goal. Woo with the save from the shot by Optic.
Oh, yeah, maybe another opportunity here as Yokes does find a path through. And it seems like Big Truck maybe expected that one to clear their lines. A huge bump there on the last defender leads Yokes to a clear line to the net. All tied up here with 13 seconds left.
Now, Nightblood Gaming sees a little bit of daylight. They have an opportunity here, but they need to fix rotations. They need to remain calm in the backcourt. 5 seconds on the clock right now. Looking for a chance. Optic sends it out off the backboard. Yokes clears it off and away. We're going to overtime for game 1 right now. Nightblood Gaming gets stronger defense right now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, right now both these teams battling, and these first few moments in overtime is always the most crucial. You don't want to give up an early goal off a mistake, off a kickoff. But I think for Nightblood, we saw them at the beginning of this game. They had all the pressure. Let's see if they can start off quickly here. As I think they're starting to find a little bit more of an advantage in the air than they did previously. They continue to kind of go for this air raid offense here. Can they break through, or will Big Truck find some answers through the midfield?
Yeah, I think one thing that might help out Big Truck is not just challenging Vivid Smart Touch up to the half-court line there, not just challenging Nightblood Gaming when they have the ball in the air, but also trying to clear out space, go for bumps. Optic, a little bit off target, sends it off to the side, was trying to get a pass down to Yokes, but it pops it up a bit too high. Optic looking for a second chance here, has another touch. Vivid pops it up high for the save, but Yokes coming in for a cleanup. Doesn't make the connection. Corntai, though, looking for its first and gets shut down by Woo. Woo, the backline defender, the brick wall with 4 saves. But Big Truck on a breakaway now, looks for a chance here, wants to bring it down. Corntai, awkward touch in the corner. Awkward miss by Yokes. Got to communicate, y'all. Got to figure out who's taking what right now. Vivid takes it away from both of them, and Optic slows down the ball, kills it, Smart bump from Corntide gives Yokes a little bit of breathing room. Optic takes the pass from Yokes, brings it down onto the corner, and the ball is cleared off and away as it hits up the half-court line.
Yeah, now both these teams really trying to stretch all of the creative muscles here to try and make an opening here. Could be an opening here off the woodwork. Follow up by Tyro, and that will do it. Big Truck will take game number 1.
Look at the positioning. Optic anticipates the double touch and tries to shut it down. Yokes comes in a bit too late, and Corntie is just caught out and away, unfortunately. But Big Truck taking this chance and runs off with the first game of the series. Again, folks, this is a best-of-3 series as well. Fantastic work from Big Truck. They were able to regain after Nightblood Gaming found that moment to breathe, and still came away with a lot more pressure than Nightblood Gaming had.
Yeah, and I think it was really interesting because I was a little bit worried. Big Truck talking about them beforehand. All of a sudden, Nightblood Gaming start off the game with a really quick kickoff goal, and then all of a sudden they seemed like they had all the pressure. But Big Truck, they slowed it down. They started to find their pace and then really put consistent pressure on to the other side. So, and credit to Nightblood for not giving up, for continuing to battle as they got into the later stages of this game. So excited to see what we have for game number 2. We are getting a server change really quickly, so we'll have a delayed start for game number 2, but we'll get right back into the action as soon as possible.
Yeah, delay of game, and a little bit of a chance for players to kind of take this moment, take a breather. Nightblood Gaming needs to talk a little bit more about what they need to do on rotations, try to fix their positioning, fix their placement as well too, because there are a lot of times they're passing the ball out to someone who's not there, and that back to chemistry of the team as well too, which is I can trust my teammate to be where I need them to be. But if you can't do that, then you kind of have to play a lot more solo games, and that's not going to work in a tournament like this. You might find better luck in ranked, but in tourneys, you need to have trust in your team, and your team needs to be able to fulfill that trust on the field.
Yeah, and I think that's credit to some of the pressure that they're put under. I think they're really trying to look, for the open space, look for, hoping that their players would kind of be thinking ahead in order to get to the open space to kind of break out. And sometimes you're not able to put those defensive touches where you would like them to go. So, a little bit of maybe catching up on the defensive side, but I think they're definitely up to it. I mean, regardless, this was a game that went to OT. They did push this one all the way to the limits of regulation. And that ending goal was a build up play, and I think there was plenty of opportunities. In fact, I thought they had a really good opportunity where and Wu defensively so good where there's multiple opportunities for Nightblood Gaming to put a shot on, but Wu made an incredible save at the end with multiple players awkward on their side, their last bastion of defense, and still able to deflect it away. So, almost you'd say that there's a couple aspects of the game where a little bit unlucky there for Nightblood Gaming that they weren't able to find, one, maybe two more goals for their cause here. But, now they could reset, realize, where the strengths and weaknesses of this defense are and what they need to do in order to keep the ball controlled on their side here. But it all starts at the beginning of this game. It's going to be very important for Nightblood Gaming to try and control the pace early. They want to be the one that are setting the tone. And, if it's a passing game that they want, they have to make sure they trust each other to put the ball in the right place. That's a triple commit. Yoke should have a free look there and will get it to go. And that's as picture perfect of a start as you can have.
A picture perfect start for Nightblood Gaming, and just proving the point that you were just making about trust with that triple commit from Big Truck. There was no communication. Everyone panicked in that moment. No one stayed on the ground just for that touch or stayed on the backboard. And now Nightblood Gaming, in a repeat of the beginning of last game, is now in a 1-point lead to start us off before the first 30 seconds on the clock. But now Vivid has a chance, pops it up high. No one able to pick it up. Optic forces a touch, sends it right back to half court. Tyro, though, might be able to get it clear here. No, gets saved by Optic. Vivid challenges Yokes at the half court up in the air. Wu tries to put a little bit of flair in it, but can't get it around Corn Tie. Now Tyro realizes he's the last one back, goes for the corner. Dangerous touch between Big Truck. Woo able to get a good clear in that moment. Sends it up high. Optic wants to take this opportunity to get a pass down to the team. It's right in front of the net, and Yokes plays it smart. Instead, tries to get a back pass going. Gets it back to Optic. Miss between not one, not two, but 4 different players on that ball bouncing in front of Big Truck's defensive half.
Yeah, a little bit awkward here, but you can see Nightblood, they're really making Big Truck think on the defensive side, but now how to do a little bit of defending on their own. Quarantine should be alone here. At least get this over to the midfield. Tyro plays it to the mid. Optic will try to get this central somewhat. Touch off the underside of the car. Any shot coming through? No, not quite. Tyro to the air. Has a lead blocker, but Optic times it correctly. Will get away and cleanly get the ball to the other side.
Optic with that 20/20 field vision right now. Saw, I believe that was Wu going in for the bump and dodged that and still was able to get that clear. And now looking for a chance to get a pass out to a teammate. Quarantine keeps it in the corner, sends it upfield. Wu sends it up to Tyro. Can Tyro put the shot on? Optic once again with the save. Just brings it around. Smart demo from Vivid, but unfortunately, Quarantine still finding a chance here. Wu with the save off the backboard, brings it up high. Yokes takes it up high onto the backboard, bounces it down, trying to get it out to Optic. Backs off. Vivid sends that ball clear over to the corner. And has so much space in the midfield as well, too. Just not a lot of pressure coming from Big Truck this time, for this round at least.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more respect coming out of Big Truck, where I think Nightblood are making a lot of the correct decisions. They're being smart with the ball, but that one, Wu just had to wait for that hit to come through. Just waiting, oh so patient. Tyro, go kill. And Optic sent flying, and Big Truck will tie it up.
Wu, just a little bit of style, a little bit of flair, if you will, on that play. Fakes out the defender, sees the opening cleared out by his teammate, and just takes that ball and puts it in the top left corner. Now Optic trying to regain, wants that lead right back. Quarantine dives on it. Tyro blocks the shot, though. Vivid brings it out of the corner. Optic on top of him. Wu touches it out all the way over to half court. You can see Tyro trying to get in Yoke's way. Brings it off to the corner instead, and we can see Nightblood Gaming all rotating on the same side, going back for that defensive play, trying to get ready for that counterattack. Tyro almost drops it in the corner post, but gets shut down by Quarantine. Smart defensive plays, and we're seeing a lot of the same here with Nightblood Gaming again on the stronger defensive side. Just one more save than Big Truck. And Quarantine tries to block that shot. Tyro can't find the connection, gets a little bit too quick for the ball, and it sails right past him as it heads back into that corner.
Yeah, I mean, right now you're able to see all the defensive work that Big Truck and Wu specifically were doing, and now you're starting to feel that from Nightblood. They understand that they have to make sure they shore up their defensive side, but they got to be careful. Big Truck, they're starting to make this game a little bit more physical than we saw in game number 1. Game number 1, fairly clean game all over, but Optic will take advantage, what I think was a little bit of a bunch up on that side wall. Little bit of open space. Quarantine finds Optic, and they're able to take a 1-goal lead. A minute left.
Optic just found that opening right when he realized everyone's on the same side. No one can get back in time. And I do have to credit it. Sometimes when you take that OT, your team is more likely to lose the next match. But Vivid, what a smart 50, just challenges Optic immediately and takes it right back.
Yeah, I mean, this one is just the awareness there. Knows that Optic, got into a decent position, but the car slightly turned, realizes not going to try and get past, going to go for the 50, hope it goes well, and it goes amazingly well. And now, tied game here. These teams very, very close, but it's up to the little touches, the little decision-making aspects of this game that can sway it one way or another.
Yeah, it's going to come down to those rotations. It's going to come down to who blinks first as well, too, because I feel like both the last 2 goals we've seen have been off of mistakes from both sides, either not good positioning or just mis-rotating, being on the wrong side and essentially giving up the play. Tyro tries to find it in the corner. Vivid tries to shove it back in, but Optic carries it out and away, picks up a savior on the way out. That's 6 saves for Optic. Again, being the brick wall that Nightblood Gaming needs, could find a chance here as Optic jumps up for the ball, wants to maintain control, gives it to Yokes. Yokes on target, denied by Vivid, but Optic wants to find another chance. Corntai, though, has it. Vivid pops it up high, is trying to get another touch on it with the last bit of boost, and it hits the ground. And we're heading to a round 2 overtime.
Yeah, that one was a little bit scary for Nightblood. I wanted them to actually see it to the ground. I don't think they had the advantage, and luckily come out with another overtime here. A little bit scary for them, as loss means a lower bracket run for Nightblood, but Big Truck, they kind of worked their way back into this one. But both these teams, I mean, it's been very close. There's been the advantages, disadvantages. They've kind of found ways to go back and forth here, but it's going to be one goal to either extend this game or send one team down to lowers.
And Wu, demo in the backcourt, just tries to shut down Corntai, was hoping for an opening there. But again, folks, this is a double elimination tournament. Just if you get knocked out in this one, you do have another chance, albeit a slim one. Tyro, smart challenge on Yoke, sends it over to the side, over to Vivid. Vivid pops it up high. Optic on top of it, though. Passes over to Corntai. Corntai not able to make the touch he wants. And the ball is flying over to the side. Tyro brings it off to the side. Corntai denies. Over to Wu. Wu tries to get another touch, wants to pass it out center. Cannot get there as Optic once again is on top of them. And a little bit scared for this rotation, guys. Saw Yokes in the background, and Vivid sees this opportunity, takes it, and gives the best of 3 to Big Truck.
Yeah, it's a little bit awkward there from that side wall. They're trying to defend that side wall, leaving that near post open, as I think both players, there was a double commit there on the challenge. Both players are trying to rotate back, not able to get back in time, and Big Truck managed to send it to overtime, managed to take it in that overtime, and looking good going into the winners final.
Looking great going into the winners final, but it also brings up the question of they were kind of just waiting on Nightblood Gaming to make a mistake. And to me, the biggest mistake was having that one person go out for a cherry pick on the front end of the court when they're getting that much pressure put on them. Very confusing play from Nightblood Gaming, but Big Truck sees that opportunity, knows they have the right of way, and just take it immediately. And now they're going to be facing off entered team name, which I believe is actually supposed to be someone else's team name, but we'll find out once we get there. And thank you all so much. We'll be right back. It's just, their team name is Enter Team Name. Folks, we will have Big Truck facing off Enter Team Name coming up next in the Frost Esports tournament sponsored by Trolley. And folks, welcome back to the next round in the double elimination Frost Esports tournament for the weekly Blizzard. I am once again your host of the evening Ice Cold Brew, and joining me in the booth once more is Cobra. We are sponsored by Trolley, by the way, just before I forget to say that. But Cobra, excited for the next round. We just saw Big Truck, and now we're seeing Enter Team Name coming up next.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this one. I mean, we saw Big Truck, have a lot of success. Even though those games went to overtime, they were battling out with a really competitive team in Nightblood. And now they're going up against Enter Team Name. We've had a pretty clean run so far in the last series. They also won 2-0 and a very comfortable 3-1, 3-1. They felt in control of the series in its totality. So we'll see what Big Truck has here. Pass in the middle of the field. Vivo, oh my lord. Vivid, a absolutely clean shot there. And if that is what we have to work with, Big Truck looking for some really big plays here.
Just absolute clarity. Woo sees Vivid in the center, gives that perfect pass, and Vivid, top shelf, no problems. And Enter Team Name just not able to recover in time, but maybe Heps can fix this issue. Tries to bring it down low, but Vivid denies, blocks it down, brings it over to the corner. Gear tries to maintain control, takes this pass from Jonathan. Jonathan centers it over the field. Woo pops it up high. It's heading up the center lane, and Heps shuts that down. Gear and Heps both have a quick talk as they drive past each other, trying to figure out who's taking control. Heps able to take it up the half court. Gear denies and sends a block pop-up over to Vivid. Vivid brings it down. Heps almost helps out on that, but Jonathan just able to shut it down. Gear sends it off. Tyro now has control over on the side, almost on target, and Jonathan sends it right back up the center once again with Gear trying to find a target. Cannot find it with Woo on that back line again.
Yeah, we're getting a lot of back and forth here. So, a lot of these teams are looking for that infield pass. They're looking for that shot from distance here. So, very interested to see if any of these teams will kind of change up their approach on the attack. Heps go into the air, another infield pass. They're already up for this one, but it will be a block here. Gear will try to re-aggress here. Pulls two away, and Vivid just able to clear that away from Jathan here. Enter Team Name, they're enjoying a little bit of offensive pressure here, looking for that final piece to break through. Heps, pass to Jathan, cut out again. And my, the fact that the passes are getting better means that the defensive awareness has to be even more so. 3 against 1, Woo, not able to keep them away as Gear will equalize.
Just a conga line going down the center lane in this moment. Heps sees Woo, fakes him out. Woo able to get a touch on the ball, but Gear puts enough power on it to just drive it into the net. Ties this match up 1-1. But I'm expecting Enter Team Name to get even more aggressive. They so far have been looking for the demos. They've already got one on Woo, which forced him into that back line. And now we have Tyro taking this ball over. Heps shuts down the lane, brings it over to the opposite side. Vivid misses a touch, but Woo is there to clean it up. You can see Gear with that demo on Tyro in the back. Gear going for a shot now. Off target, Tyro sends it off to the side. Double demo on the field. Now we're back into a 2v2 situation. Heps wants to bring it off the ceiling, gets it around Woo, but doesn't have the boost to really finish the play. Wait, that might go in!
Wow.
What a shutdown! I could not get any closer than that.
Yeah, it was really, really great build-up play. I mean, just the control to even get to that spot. It is eventually seen away by the defense here. A possible shot by Woo somehow gets through the traffic. But my, oh my, both these teams are going back and forth here.
Woo just giving a nice shout, finds that pass from Vivid, finds the opening from Enter Team Name, just not able to recover in time. Just a bit of a mess going on there. And takes that ball in. And might be looking for another one. Instead, sends it back. Heps passes it back forward, I should say, but sending it from backwards. Tries to get another touch on it. Tyro shuts that down. Woo on target. Jonathan's able to take it up to the backboard. Gear tries to redirect onto the goal line, but gets shut down, sent away by Tyro. Another passing play to the mid lane. You can see them trying to make this work as often as possible, all wanting this ball to just give as many opportunities, many angles as they can to get a goal in. And right now, Big Truck is putting their mind and body in the way and just shutting down every opportunity they have.
Yeah, right now there's a lot of danger being presented here by Enter Team Name, but Big Truck, they're doing a really good job of absorbing that pressure, absorbing those infield shots and cutting them out. And can they find anything on the offensive side? Ball is up. Woo should get a clear look at this. Will they get the follow-up? Double tap. Not going to be needed as Woo, the run-up. Oh, deflected away. A minute remaining, and Enter Team Name looking for the goal back here.
Looking for the goal back, and very fortunate break for Enter Team Name right now, but still not out of the woods yet. Big Truck doing what they do best and just maintaining pressure, just keeping it on their side and interfering with every single touch that Enter Team Name has. But maybe Heps can find a goal here. Opening found and ties it up 2-2 with that pass out from the corner.
Yeah, wonderful deflection there. Just a little bit of space, and the bump helps a ton as well. Tyro basically spun around on the goal line, not able to offer any resistance to that shot, and it will be taken by Enter Team Name. 35 seconds left, and we're in very familiar territory with a tied game. I don't know if Big Truck just like doing all their work in overtime, but it looks like we're heading that way unless Vivid looks to end it here.
There are some teams who just accelerate, who are able to endure and stand even stronger in overtime. And so far, it looks like Big Truck is looking for that right now. But Woo might have changed his mind. Maybe wants to shut this down quickly. Sends it off the backboard. Jonathan sends it upfield over to Heps. Heps gets his shot blocked. Sends it onto the side. Vivid tries to shut that down. Brings it to ground. Woo with the savior at that time. And we're heading into our first overtime once again with Big Truck on the field.
Big Truck, again, they find themselves in a very familiar position. I mean, this would be their third straight overtime in a row here. Now, Enter Team Name, they'll have to defend their line, working out of the defensive third. Demo opens up a little bit of space for Enter Team Name. That goes all the way back, and that is going to be the own goal all the way from midfield. I think this just gets on the hood of Woo's car. They're not able to slow it down. They actually inject a little bit more pace, and the Demo throws off the timing there.
Woo might be saying boo at this point right now, just reconsidering where he was in that moment. Doesn't expect the ball to come down that quickly because Enter Team Name and Big Truck have mostly been playing in the air for the most part. Didn't expect it to come down, and just is kicking himself in this moment, even after such a strong showing of 3 saves. But Enter Team Name stands out a little bit stronger, brings it up 3-2 right now. Fantastic work between both teams, though.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's all about just sticking close to the side. I mean, Big Truck, we've seen them go to overtime, and I think both these teams have done a really good job with their first touches. They haven't been giving up possession that often. I think simply Big Truck, they're looking for a possession play. Woo is trying to, get control of that. It goes off, and typically that's a play where you have someone behind you, you have a rotation going, but they're just getting through from they're just respawning, so there's really no help available. It's a tough one to give up. However, we aren't in best of 5 scenarios, so they do have a little bit more wiggle room here, and I don't really think you should throw away the game plan, make major adjustments off of a goal that goes in like that. I think Big Truck, they're in pretty good spirits right now. They're in really good form. They just have to really continue to play their game and not let goals like that go in.
Yeah, you can see Woo getting a little bit more aggressive now as well. I'm expecting Big Truck is going to start clearing the back line. Now you can see Gear without any help around. 2 people on his team taken down, but Woo not giving up. Air dribble over off the backboard. Opening chance here for Vivid. Brings it up too high though, but can Tyro finish the play? And he does. Off the pass from Vivid, but nice 1-2-3 setup between Woo and Vivid as well.
Yeah, the whole team is around to at least take a look at that one. That's an opportunity that you don't really want to miss out. One player beats multiple through the air. It's a very clean read on that back line, so you want to make sure you execute when you can, because for Big Truck, these games have been really close. They've been been put in situations where they're expecting a lot of pressure. They have been succeeding here, but I'm sure they wouldn't mind a game to end in their favor in regulation.
I would agree, and if all their games have been like this, they've been pushing themselves so hard, you have to wonder what their stamina is like. How tired are they pushing through series after series in such a way that maybe it's ending in overtime? Even if they do win 2 straight, 3 straight, whatever you need, it has to wear on them. It has to wear on them mentally. It has to wear on their attention span. But Tyro, not even worried, almost drops it inside the post, but gets denied. Now Jonathan tries to bring it around. Wu instead has to force into the corner. Ball over to Vivid. Vivid not able to make the connection. Heps just off target. Can Jonathan put it in? No. Gear and Heps both jumping up for it, both throwing caution to the wind. Jonathan, good fake out, but Vivid waiting patiently is able to get it around. Almost into the corner, but passes down to Gear instead and ties it back up. We are once again 1-1.
Yeah, right now that ball, it just kind of went to that right corner and no one is able to give another look at it. And it was a immediate opportunity noticed by Enter Team Name where they send that right back into the zone, right back into a shootable position. And I think that's one of the things about Big Truck is like they do so well, 90% of the time they're playing competitive. They're on a very long defensive stand there, and then one kind of lapse in the judgment, and they let a goal in, and again they let a team back into this one and keep it close.
Yeah, and you can see it again.
Oh,
Gear just able to walk it in. A misrotation from Big Truck might just cost them now. Now, Enter Team Name just needs to maintain this lead and maintain rotations, and they will be just fine.
Yeah, all the credit for Gear there. Again, it was a great touch, to kind of disrupt that infield pass. And then the recognition to just realize they had the ability to control that, and they had all the space in the world all the way to the goal here. So, wonderful job and a wonderful save by the aforementioned players. They're making sure they want to keep this lead. If they could get a little bit of a buffer, I'm sure it wouldn't hurt, but Tyro would like to open up. Wu off the top here will have the backboard covered and immediately sent to the other side.
You see Jonathan with the demo on Vivid breaks off any offensive pressure that the Big Truck squad might have had, but now Jonathan sends it off the side. Wu's last one back. Can Jonathan target it? No. Sends it over high. Gear demos on Vivid in the background, and I'm just looking over the top right now, and I can see the rotations that Big Truck has right now and how much pressure it's putting on Enter Team Name is just not enough for them right now. They need to get some demos. They need to clear out that back line, or else they're going to probably look at another goal in favor of Enter Team Name in this moment.
Opportunity here, though, as Wu trying to find something straightforward. The demo will help, but a great chase down block there by Jonathan, and Vivid has to get up to this quickly to make sure there's no follow-up. Play in the corner. Jonathan goes through, gets past two, trying to get the final touch central, but it will not be theirs. Now the pass to Gear. Wu will try to take a look at it, at least puts a car and dives on forward, but will not be anything. We're approaching a minute here. Enter Team Name still have the lead here and looking to get one more.
Gear finds an opportunity, might have a chance here. Vivid comes sailing in, clears it off to the side, but Heps is able to maintain possession. Open net opportunity again. Just rotations hurt you when they aren't performed well, and we're just seeing that again and again for Big Truck.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even call that a rotation issue. I mean, the player is exactly where they should be in the play. It's just when there's a player that doesn't execute, that doesn't get the touch where they're needed to in the rotation. I mean that's what happens. It's a glaring miss in that corner, and when that happens, it leaves a gap. I mean, you don't expect misses there. You're expecting your teammate to get a touch, and right now they're going to be 2 goals behind and only 25 seconds in order to get that one through. And Enter Team Name, they're starting to really get into the swing of things. They're putting more and more pressure. Shot in the middle. It's going to be a fight for who takes it. Jonathan will get it to go and kind of bumps out their teammate, but they'll take the 4th goal here for Enter Team Name.
Yeah, off the pass from Gear as well. And I do have to point something out from our producer, but Twitch chat actually pointed out that Enter Team Name was more favored upon. They have a 60% prediction on Enter Team Name winning the series, but Big Truck at 40%. So it's going to be close. Currently, Big Truck making sure it's the best of 5 series and looking for a chance to reset, but they will be on their back foot for the rest of the series right now and are looking to make a reverse sweep. And that second goal right there will probably help them get that momentum right back. Fantastic shot from Tyro off the pass from Vivid.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you start to worry because this is maybe a breakdown in the the script here for Big Truck. We've seen only close games from them, and then since the own goal in that overtime, maybe the vibes haven't quite been the same. Needing a reverse sweep, get back into this one, and Enter Team Name, I think they're just playing solid Rocket League. I think they're having the possession, and their first touches is what I'm seeing really be the thing that Enter Team Name is doing so well. They're not giving Big Truck any free opportunities. They're not giving them free possession here. Gear, especially. I love the awareness of what Gear is doing, getting that first touch, making sure they're checking the field, kind of scoping out where they can play, what are the next steps, and it's really doing them well here in the series.
And I also think Gear has actually had the most demolitions on the team as well, too. Going back to what you were saying about being aware on the field, they also know when there is someone at the back line, when they can take that chance. And we see opportunity after opportunity again. Big Truck needs to capitalize on that, pay attention to where people are on the field, and play that to their advantage, either getting demos, getting bumps, opening up opportunities for their team. Because right now, Enter Team Name has been taking full advantage of it and has shown some fantastic chemistry between passing plays and just actively looking for each other. Gear and Tyro meeting of the minds there, denies the shot for Enter Team Names. That 50 goes into the corner. Ball heading over to Enter Team Names' side. Big Truck, Woo, takes the ball. Tyro, challenged by, I believe that was Jonathan. Heps on target. Vivid comes in, gets that save. Ball flying over. Tyro puts it upfield, and Gear sends it right on back. And Woo, looking for a chance, gets challenged by both Jonathan and Gear. Can there be another opportunity here as that ball flies all the way back towards the Inter-team name back line?
Oh, this one's dangerous, and that one might just go through. Tyro will finally get the credit for it, and this is the first time actually I've seen Gear with a touch that didn't go their way. Their initial touch from the corner sent it straight to Woo, and Tyro got that one to go, even though 3 Enter-team name cars tried to deny it.
Yeah, and that has to hurt as well, too, thinking you might be able to get a good clear, but everyone has to dive on it. Woo almost puts the ball on target, get a second one in Big Truck's favor. Looking like they want to start with an early lead and a big lead as soon as possible to shut down Inter-team name. But now Vivid has to force a pass off the post. Heps comes off the backboard. Wants to get around Tyro. Tyro brings it down, but Gear looking for a shot, and Vivid's not able to get a clear in there. Gear just soft touches it in.
I mean, this Woo's in such a tough spot there. If they play more towards Gear and kind of, try to cut down that shot, they get demoed, so they hit the brakes, they jump to try and cover the space, and Gear just holds on to it an extra second longer and chips it over. I mean, really smart play, and it was a tough situation for Woo to be in, kind of left on an island there, but I'm noticing that Big Truck, playing a very close rotation. They're trying to take advantage of any 50, any loose ball that happens. You're going to leave yourself open to some of those things, and Woo so far has been up to the task defensively, but the more and more pressure they're under, the more and more times they are, destined to break here. Woo, this one's another tough touch off the top and hoping for a little bit of help, but the ball does not get into a great place off the corner and straight down, and teammates, it's a really tough ball to read in that aspect as well.
Yeah, I don't think Tyro wanted that touch to go that way at all. And now we're once again looking at Inter-team name with a 1-point lead deficit. And I'm starting to have a sense of deja vu right now, Cobra. I feel like Inter-team name has been in this position before, and they have excelled in it just because they can keep that pressure on. But Vivid almost takes the shot and instead hits it off the post to Tyro, who takes it in.
Yeah, this one I think catches the defense unawares. I think Gear slightly misjudges how effective that challenge is going to be. Catches to the midline, goes back, the ball over their head, and not quite enough time to react on it. But for Big Truck, I feel like this little bit of back and forth is exactly what they've been doing well at. Shot on target. Jonathan will send it away, but now a lot of pressure here for Big Truck. But in the games that they have won, that they've taken to overtime, it's been this back and forth where you're not really sure what team has the advantage, or it's a yin and yang, like back and forth. But we'll see. Half the game remaining. Enter team name have all of the pressure off of them, and it's all up to Big Truck to really set a new precedent here.
Yeah, and we can see again Big Truck doing what you said earlier. They are fighting for every loose ball, every 50. Vivid with the smart pass to Woo, but Woo can't find it. Instead, Vivid has to clean up his own mess. Sends it right on in. That's an assist from Woo as well, apparently. Did he get a touch there?
I think barely got a touch, just kind of sending that one forward. I think on the bottom of the tires, bottom of the car, so I don't think there was really much pace added to that ball, but we'll take the assist regardless. Habs looking for a goal here. Woo sends it away, and my oh my, enter team name knocking at the door, being denied yet again. Demo opening up a little bit of space as Gear will try to clear this one.
Yeah, Vivid brings the ball for a 50. Woo maintain control, gets it around one. Jonathan bumps Woo a little bit, but we see Hebs booming that ball up to Jonathan. Jonathan brings it down up and high. Vivid did not get credited for a save, but that was in fact a save. In my opinion, that was dropping right down in the center. Gear gets in the way of the pass, sends it all the way booming to the side, and Jonathan takes over. Now we have Hebs bringing it up high over to the center. I believe that was Jonathan once again trying to get a backboard pass, going for the team. Can Woo bring it down low before Gear gets a touch on it? Woo demos on Gear as well, shutting down that defensive line. Will this make the difference? Vivid on target, double commit from the back line though, as Gear wants to hold on to control, and Woo will not allow this to pass. Tyro pass up high on the backboard. Ball pinched off the backboard and off and away to Jonathan right now.
That pinch a little bit dangerous here, but I think Big Truck has been a lot more diligent on the defensive line, and that's forcing Enter Team Name to be more and more aggressive. They're sending their players closer and closer to the post as they're trying to get pressure on the keepers on that midfield line to make a mistake, which they were doing in the first 2 games. They haven't quite gotten those same opportunities here, but now 40 seconds. Can they get something to work? Multiple go. A little bit of a free spot, but Tyro reads the play well, and now looking for something on the other end.
Woo has to make the save in the last moment. Their demos are coming out, and they are fierce right now, either shutting down the passing striker or shutting down any kind of rotation, trying to disrupt it. Tyro passes up to Woo. Ball on target. 4-2. Big Truck is making a big difference in this match 3.
Yeah, kind of a Nuno reverse card here in game number 3. They just looked a little bit sharper defensively, and that's leading to more opportunities as Enter Team Name. They're forced to kind of alter their approach. They're really trying to break through, and even though the demos are connecting, I don't think Big Truck is as altered by it. I don't think they're as thrown off by the possibilities, because I think everyone is in a better spot. So this game will end, and the series will continue here as Big Truck will extend it.
Yeah, Big Truck just making a huge difference and not being bothered as much as by the demos, but Enter Team Name feeling a little bit more rattled on this as well. Their back line wasn't as strong as previous games, and they were also putting on 8 shots as well too. They just weren't able to have an offensive drive in this one. Yep. Meanwhile, Big Truck all looking for each other actively. Everyone's got at least 1 assist on the squad, 11 shots, 6 saves, all working in tandem, all working as like a logistic unit, just working very well together. I mean, very different from what we saw in the first 2 matches against Enter Team Name.
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. I think this team gets more and more dangerous when they're creating for each other, right? And we're seeing that this is a team that when they find some of those infield passes, it could really lead to some great things. Not just for that first initial shot, but for the rebound, because they're really rattling this off either the woodwork or defender where the save is not quite picture perfect, and it's leading to second and third opportunities which they're taking advantage of here. So now I don't really see too many big changes here for the side of enter team name. I think they have to get the demos going, but I specifically think it has to be gear that really keeps an eye on when those demos are appropriate, because didn't have a demo last game. It was their teammates. It was Heps and Jonathan, and I think Gear is the player that's tends to have the most touches in a game, or at least has averaged the most touches in this series. They tend to be pretty ball dominant and really keep the ball close. So I want to see them kind of dictating when those demos should come out. They think it's a good time right there. I do agree, and it won't buy a little bit more time here. Just all right, easy. All right, 2 demos immediately and try to open up a little bit of space here for the enter team name attack.
Yeah, Big Truck right now just needs to keep up the style of play they had last time, but right now it looks like Enter Team Name might be saying Big Truck's a one-trick show in the moment. Tries to bring it down. Vivid, though, comes off the top of Heps and brings it right back over into the corner. Gear fakes touch, gives a chance for, I believe that was Heps going for the ball there. Jonathan comes off the backboard, not a good clear, not a safe clear. Instead, brings it down to the corner, and Heps able to break it away, brings it over 1, needs to bring it over 2. Tries to get a pass out to Gear. Gear plays too far up, though, and the ball sails right past him. Now Tyro wants this chance to pass it down to a teammate. Off the backboard, there's Heps and Jonathan. Woo, 50s to Vivid. Vivid takes some time. Look for an air dribble. Doesn't have the boost to play, though, as Tyro wants to take another chance here. Smart 50, sends it right back into the corner, keeps that offensive pressure going. And Gear with the demo on Tyro just to shut down that offensive push from Big Truck.
Yeah, the game's been a little bit awkward here for both sides, as Jonathan is going to get the friendliest bounce off that post. I mean, just sends this downfield. I think Tyro, has to at least check this one, but Jonathan seems to know that one was going to be directly middle on that bounce and puts that away. We felt that both teams were, kind of pushing further and further to the extremities, further into their opponent's offensive third, and it looks like Enter Team Name, rewarded for that pressure, and they will hold the first lead here in game number 4.
Yeah, and right now, unfortunately, I'm trying to think back to the other 3 games and whether they took the first goal or if it was Big Truck that took the first goal right now. But Jonathan says, let me get a second one on the docket for us. Gets denied by Tyro. Now Vivid, 1v1 in the moment. Doesn't have the boost to play, though. Just can't find any pads along the hook. Is unable to commit to it. Jonathan pops it up high, drives forwards, looking for a pass from Heps right now. Heps sends it off the backboard. Woo denies, sends it down to the ground, over to the corner. But Gear sends it over to Jonathan, who finds it in the corner. And Vivid, unfortunate, just unable to get a good clear. Instead, finds the ball flying down to him and bumps it right on in.
It all starts with that corner touch from Gear. I mean, the light kiss off the hood of the car as they land to the corner. It's perfectly set up for them to do what they want. They could continue their play, or they could pass it off to a teammate. They go for the latter. And again, it's a really precise shot, making it incredibly difficult for the defender, and it just kind of drops on their head. Big Truck not in the best of states here, but still working on entering that offensive third, and they're not having as much success because I do think they're really throwing away that touch or looking for something infield and just not quite getting it. Off the top, Tyro, awkward position here, close quarters combat, and Heps will find another path through. I think the defender got stuck on the crossbar here.
Yeah, I can see the defender expects that touch from Gear. Gear recognizes it, see the ball is going to hit the backboard, and it's so soft, it's so light of a touch. Heps just needs to recover, turn around quickly, and just take it right in. And now we have a 3-point game for Enter Team Name right now, and Big Truck might be looking away from a win right now. Gear takes this ball for the save over to Jonathan. Jonathan pinches it against the side. Gets a fantastic shot! Someone clip that!
That is absolutely marvelous. That is all about the confidence and kind of expecting that touch. And you look for it. You don't always think that you're going to get it. You're trying to get it central, but that one, I feel like Jonathan had a feeling that they were going to have the look, had a feeling that the defender was going to miss, and now it will be just a 3-goal lead as, off the kickoff, we'll immediately at least get one back. Could be something here, a little bit of a spark here for Big Truck.
This could be the start of a run right now, but it's a minute 37 left, 3-goal deficit. They are fighting a steep uphill battle, but they got to roll that boulder to the top right now. As Gear pops that ball up towards cross half court, Vivid gets a touch on it. It's going on the backboard. Wow. Gear sends it away. Tyro immediately pops it right on back, just not allowing a moment for this ball to touch the ground. Heps passes down to Jonathan. Roller all the way over to the opposite side. Woo has boost to play. Wants to bring it down around Gear, but Gear is ready and waiting for him on the ceiling. Now Tyro wants to flick it over Hebs, but Hebs denies. Over to the backboard. Water falls down. Woo comes out of the goal to get that save. Vivid pops it over high. Woo with the smart bump. Tries to slow down the counterattack by Interteam Name. Tyro not able to commit there. Demo by Woo. Carried away by Jonathan over to the opposite side. And right now, unless Big Truck gets another goal, Interteam Name is going to be taking the series right now.
Yeah, the game is kind of getting a little bit away from, I think, the way that Big Truck wants to play. It's getting a little bit chaotic as Interteam Name. They're starting to pre-jump. They're really starting to get after it on offense, and I don't think Big Truck are finding the touches to get out of their defensive side. Could be an opportunity here. Vivid looking for the final shot. Good fake. Maybe a follow-up here by Tyro, but the pace not going to be enough to beat multiple keepers. Seconds are going off the clock, and maybe one more goal will ensure that Interteam Name will move on to the grand finals here, and Big Truck have to work their way back up.
Yeah, Interteam Name will in fact be facing off against, I believe, whoever wins the losers final coming up after this one, but 5-1 right now. Big Truck put on a strong show in that last match, but unfortunately could not keep up with that pace, keep up with that tempo that Interteam Name had. And the demos as well, too, were just very apparent in this one. Just made such a huge difference on the field for the team.
Yeah, I mean, Gear had 4. I mean, that was and started off the game immediately, kind of getting into the heads of Big Truck. I think the boost was dominated as well by Interteam Name. And, at some point, they started playing ultra confident. I mean, Jonathan, 4 goals on 6 shots, felt really enabled to be able to do their thing. And they had a lot of space to do it. Big Truck weren't really able to keep up with the ball, keep up to the pace of play that was displayed here. And so, Interteam Name will find themselves, waiting a little bit for the what we will get here in the losers final here is I believe Pickups do get the victory against Nightblood Gaming, so we won't get a rematch down there. We are getting a rematch because Pickups did lose to Big Truck in the quarterfinals, the match before we saw on stream. So that was a close one as well. So excited to see what that one looks like.
Very excited to see. And folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back with more Frost Esports Weekly Blizzard, sponsored by Trolley. Good evening, folks. We are here with the loser finals for Frost Esports RL Weekly Blizzard. I am once again your host, Ice Cold Brew. We are sponsored by Trolley. And joining me in the booth is Cobra. Cobra, we just saw Big Truck have an unfortunate loss against Enter Team Name here. And now they're facing off once again with pickups. How do you feel about this series?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is an opportunity for Big Truck to kind of get back into form. I think they kind of threw themselves off with the overtime loss, the own goal, and then they never really quite got back up to that consistent level of play. And for pickups, I think this is a great opportunity to advance because it's a team that you've played before. I mean, it was fairly close, games number 1 and 2 in their original series here, but Big Truck, can consistently score, consistently put you under pressure, and if you don't get touch and clearances out of your own side, you're going to end up with goals in your net.
Just like the one by Vivid off the pass from Woo as well. And Big Truck already showing a strong showing. And unsure what's happening with Tyro on the side there, but Vivid is fighting for his life off that post. Woo passes it upfield. Jer takes control here. I believe we might have a disconnect going on in the backcourt. Ball almost on target. Vivid with the save though. Can Spoods put it in? No. Instead, Woo clears it all the way out, and Tyro is back. Vivid takes the pass from Tyro, puts it all the way over to the opposite side, and Spoods carrying it up and away across the half-court line.
Right now, pickups, they're, if they could take anything from the previous game, it's, getting physical with this Big Truck defense. Can they get players off their line? Can they, really control the ball and control how the rotation reacts to them? I think that could be some of the keys here. Spoods finding a little bit of space, player downfield, ball in the middle of the area, and the zone, and the shot will go just high.
Woo, smart touch off the crossbar. Tyro sends it off to the corner there. Woo looking for a chance, sends it over back to Vivid. Big Truck currently on the offensive right now, playing 2 up in the moment. Ball rolls in front of the net. Spoods and Jer both wave it to each other as that ball gets carried over to the side. Now Jer has a chance, gets it around 1, but is not able to find the back of the net. It's heading over to the corner now, but Spoods brings it down low. Vivid, smart touch. Woo and Tyro almost double commit on that save, but Tyro demands control and sends it down to the corner, and that ball is rolling back upfield after touch from Vivid.
Yeah, the attack here for pickups resetting as they do get boost to every player. Pass a little bit behind the intended target in Jer, but Dizzy now to the corner, looking to keep this one alive. 2 touches, too many, but Spoods, quick shot on. Now Jer will look to hold it off at the midfield, but Vivid will be there. Flip reset not available, as couldn't quite get that underneath. And pickups doing a good job of kind of re-engaging this pressure. They're not letting Big Truck get really anything established on the other side.
Yeah, but that was a dangerous touch from Dizzy there. If that 50 didn't go his way, that was going to go straight towards Jer. Jer being the last one on the line. Spoods, though, maintains control, brings it over to the corner. Tyro's on target, though. Jer can't make it in time. This is a 2-0 lead as Big Trucks find the path.
Yeah, this is one of those passes that comes out of nowhere. Dizzy, left in such a tough spot because it's so much room to try and cover there. It was almost at the midfield line, but that pass so dangerous. It had such a good pace on it. Big Truck now buying themselves a little bit of a buffer here in this game number 1. Multiple bumps on the back line. And yet again, pickups starting at the midfield, trying to break through.
Trying to break through, and you see Jared tries to bring it over the backboard. And they do have 2 minutes left to play, but this is a tough situation for them right now. It seems like anytime they want to push, get a goal or get a pass going, there's always a member of the Big Truck squad in the way. Right now it's Jer, brings it down, tries to get a bounce. Woo puts Tyro in position for himself, and Dizzy tries to put a shot on. Spoods, smart bump, gets the shot and first goal for the pickup squad.
Yeah, and that is just such a selfless play. Some players realizing that that's not their ball would turn away, and you wouldn't necessarily fault Spoods for continuing through the corner and rotating out, but they realize that that is probably one of the best chances that they are going to have. They continue and go directly for the goalie to try and open up an opportunity for their teammate here. You know, they have plenty of time to turn this one around, and you know, now looking to get out of the defensive zone. Dizzy will take control here as they're trying to work their way out of the corner, and now you can see Big Truck, they're going to press a little bit further to get one more goal. Dangerous ball that will be sent away, and you know, maybe a little bit of an awkward play here as all of a sudden the pace has slowed down quite considerably in front of the net.
Yeah, and Jer is trying to carry it off in a way, but Wu is waiting patiently, just traps the ball against them, tries to carry over Dizzy. Instead, ball goes to Tyro, back to the corner. Wu looking for a read, wants to get around Spood. Crossbar instead, looks for the double tap, cannot commit though, as Jer flip resets, wants to bring it around. Big Truck all on the same side in that moment. Very dangerous positioning. If Pickups picks up on that, they can clear it off in a way. Now that ball's dead in the center of the field.
Yeah, and right now, not a lot of momentum here for the side of Pickups. They barely have any boost, and that means they don't have control of the ball, as Tyro will get the basically the open ball there as Vivid absolutely annihilates Dizzy, opening up that near post. And this should be enough for the victory, but we'll see if anything happens on this kickoff. 23 seconds left.
You know, there's plenty of time to make something strange happen. I've seen kickoff goals happen back-to-back in some point. But right now, it looks like Big Truck might be calling the first game for themselves. 10 seconds left on the clock. Tyro brings it over the backboard, right down to Vivid. Over into the corner, Wu picks it up, sends it over to the side, soft touches it, and that ball sailing high across the air. Dizzy wants to keep it alive. Down towards the corner, Tyro gets credited for a save as well, as that ball is going to go to ground, and game one in favor of Big Truck.
Yeah, they got out early. They scored the first 2 goals and were able to hold on to it. And I think this is really a complete game from them. Every single goal assisted. They had a ton of saves, 8 saves on their side. And, you know, we're pretty competitive in the shots as well. So I think that is the ideal kind of gameplay there for a Big Truck. And, you know, for Pickups, you know, maybe just they can't afford to get themselves in a hole that early. So we will see if they will, you know, be able to make a change here. And I think it's really just, you know, making sure that they don't make any of those initial mistakes to give Big Truck that opening.
Yeah, but Big Truck is also coming off a loss. They want that rebound. They have that mentality of we want to
Yeah.
get back at Inter-Team name. And I would love to see a rematch. I would love to see a revitalized Big Truck come in against Inter-Team name and say you took the first one, well, we will be taking the tournament after this as we get ready for match 2. First point to Big Truck, best of 3 right now. Don't forget, as the kickoff goes in favor of the Pickups.
Well, will be Spoods, you know, had some really selfless plays here for the side of Pickups, and I think they just need to do more of that team-based play, try to really open up opportunities as Dizzy tried to get Vivid out of the way, shot directly in front of Tyro. Tyro won't be able to follow it up, but pass downfield off the back wall, shot from Jer, and that is complete Rocket League. Their first goal here. It only took about 23 seconds.
Yeah, and look at Foods with the game sense, baits out Wu and Vivid to that front post and passes it off to Jer, just with enough power to put it right in the middle lane and fires it right to the opposite post, where neither defender can do anything about it. Great game sense from Spoods and great placement from Jer as well as he tries to put another one in. That gets saved by Vivid though. Big Truck trying to find another opportunity here. Tyro misses a touch on the shot there. Spoods booms it off and away, wants to maintain this lead, slow it down a little bit. And Jer carries it over the backboard. Can Dizzy find the commitment to put it in for another goal?
I mean, there's something about getting that first goal that does wonders for a team. You can see Spoods gets a demo, I believe, just off the screen in the replay, and Dizzy, a firecracker of a shot, gets up, gets rowdy, and now Pickups all of a sudden looking really good at the beginning of this game, and, you know, Big Truck, they have to find a response quick, otherwise this could get ugly.
Yeah, it's about to get ugly, but also I really want to shout out that the Pickups saw what Big Truck were doing last game and said we could do it better. And so far, both these goals have been off assists, but maybe Vivid can get another pass going. Misses it off the double tap, sends it off the backboard instead. Woo tries to find another chance here. Not a lot of boost though. Spoods gets challenged by Tyro. Vivid challenges Spoods immediately afterward, but Jeer carries it up high over to Dizzy. Dizzy brings it down to the corner over to Woo. Dizzy looking for a body, looking for some violence. Finds some on Tyro. Gets rid of him entirely. And Smart 50 from Spoods now has possession for Pickups.
Yeah, I think right now Pickups are doing a really good job of picking off big truck players. And, the demo's not necessarily, always at the best time, but they are enough to throw them off. And Jer will get another one here. And it's just a little too much space in the midfield. Tyro makes a wide turn, not able to get back to that one.
Jer realizes what Woo is putting down and picks it up for another goal in his favor. I love seeing this complete shift and momentum in favor of the Pickups right now, and just how well they are playing off of each other as well. And more importantly, how well they are countering the Big Truck's offense. I feel like they haven't found a moment to breathe on the field.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a little bit of, you said it earlier, it's a little bit of what Big Truck was doing earlier, and Pickup just said, anything you can do, I can do better. That's kind of exactly what we're seeing, and now have a little bit of momentum. I mean, they did take a game the last time they played earlier in the tournament, so it should not be surprising, but Big Truck, they have an opportunity to come back into this one. They have an opportunity to at least make this one a much closer affair. The Pickup's just not giving it to them right now.
And one thing I want to point out is Tyro just got the very first shot. Vivid with the second shot on the stat sheet right now. Kind of gives credit to how much pressure the Pickups are putting on Big Trucks as Dizzy comes off the backboard, goes for a pinch on Tyro with no boost. Vivid tries to put a shot on Spood, denies it, booms it all the way upfield. And we see Woo with the carry, not enough boost to follow through though. Spoods deflects it up high. Can Tyro finish it? Passes it down to Vivid. Vivid sends it over to the side. Can Woo finish the play here? Get the first point for Big Trucks. And Tyro fires. Dizzy comes down off the backboard to get that save.
Yeah, I mean, that was some really good looks here for Big Truck, but that final shot has been lacking a little bit of venom on it. And not really the time to go cold shooting here in the series, but that one could go the distance. That will go in, and they will take that if you're Big Truck.
Big Truck finding their way. Vivid sees that ball coming down, and Woo passes it up to Woo for the sniper shot. And I don't know if they can rely on that kind of distance reliably, but that might be the momentum they need to get the game started, to start finding the path, start finding the route that they need to score. Tyro puts a shot on, almost in the top shelf. Did you see Spoods come flying in for that save, though?
Yeah, I was about to say, that early goal might not be something that you can replicate, but it definitely can give you a little bit of a sense of that this is something that is possible here. And I think for Pickups, now all of a sudden you're going to be pushing for another goal. Dizzy will try to make it so and really put this one to bed here. Just a great challenge in catching the defense unaware of Big Truck.
I feel bad for Big Truck because right now they were facing a 2-point deficit, now 3, and they have to be aggressive. They have to harass the defensive line. But Dizzy and Dizzy in that moment just saw the opportunity there. Jer can carry it in for another goal, and that's a 4-point lead for Pickups.
This is something I saw earlier from Big Truck when they were losing to Enter Team Name. I feel like it's a little bit of a mental thing where it's all of a sudden, they get into a spot, they get into a little bit of a route where something goes against them. It was that own goal. I keep thinking back to it, and all of a sudden they miss on something, routine and fundamental here. So, this game will prove to be a throwaway, but not necessarily a throwaway for Pickups, as I'm sure this will be huge for them and, for their chances as moving forward. But, Big Truck, they have to prove here that they have that, that mental, acuity, that mental to get back into a series when they have a performance like this, and, have the mind of a goldfish. You got to forget some of these mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, every match, just consider yourself back to 0. Don't think of it as being match point. Don't think of what the scoreline is. Focus on what your next move needs to be. and just have some resilience, have some fortitude, even in a tough situation, to be able to bounce back, be able to continue communicating with each other, and don't shut down, don't let the other teams break away with it. Jier stealing that ball from Dizzy, just wants to let the timer run out right now. But Tyro almost puts that ball right in the center. Now Dizzy pops it up towards half court, over to Wu. Wu carrying it over, wants to put her on target, but instead it's going to go to ground.
Yeah, it doesn't mind really what goal they were going through. It's maybe just looking for a little bit of form there as they go into the air, but really a magnificent game there for pickups. I mean, hat trick there by Jared. Dizzy getting into the goal scoring as well with 2 in their own, and 3 assists on 5 goals. I mean, it looks so much more put together by pickups, and now they have all the momentum going into what will be the final game here. I'm not sure exactly what Big Truck is thinking, where their mental is at here.
I mean, if I was Big Truck, I would just have to wipe this game from memory because I would not be happy with my performance. Both teams shot 8 shots, but only Pickup scored 5 out of the 8 right now, looking at a 63% shot accuracy across the entire team. While Big Truck, only one of those shots went in, like 13%. You can't be happy with that. Even if you are maintaining that aggressiveness, you have to also be accurate with your aggressiveness at this level of play. But now both teams are on match point. We're going to the final match, and the winner here will go to grand finals to face off against inter-team name as Dizzy takes it over to the backboard, and Vivid and Wu pass up to Tyro, and that ball is heading off to the side and back into that corner.
Right now, it is all Big Truck. They have to make those smart decisions. They really have to play selfish Rocket League. It's going to be small adjustments that they need to make, and things we know that they could do. We've seen it happen, but I think pickups, they're operating with team money here, so we'll see what they have in the tank so far.
Spoods tries to deflect that ball off the side, but instead gets carried away with it. Tyro with the shot. Jarrett shuts it down. Dizzy almost puts one in on his own, but Vivid pops it up high. But Spoods is still maintaining aggression. Pass up to Vivid. Vivid
no.
just off target. Just a little bit too anxious, anticipating a block from whoever was on the back line for the pickups, but just could not commit in that moment. But maybe Wu can pop it over Jer. No, Jer instead counters for a 50, expects the dunk, and sends it off to the side, back over to Vivid off the ceiling, bringing it down, and Jared kills it right in front of the goal.
He has a little bit of space to work with, going for the pass instead. The shot will go through. Spoods will put it away and really delivered on a silver platter. As Dizzy, you can tell they had the corner open. They could have gone there if they wanted, but saw they had someone streaking downfield, put it directly on the nose.
It's just such pretty placement, and Spoods was in the right place at the right time, anticipating the control from Dizzy, and now Dizzy, once again in control, tries to get a setup going for the squad. Spoods puts it right back into the corner. Tyro able to get a soft touch and deflect it down. Tyro passes down to Vivid. Vivid can't maintain control as Spoods gets a touch on the ball, and Tyro's forced to bring it back into the corner. Now we see Spoods carrying it over. Missed by one. Dizzy tries to put a shot on. Spood trying to return the favor. Unable to do so on this run.
Spoods is looking really good on the ball so far, kind of on both sides, doing the work defensively and offensively. And, we're waiting for that impact from someone on Big Truck. And we saw Wu have some really good performances defensively. And I think, on the offensive side, I really want to see Vivid get involved in some of those shots. They had opportunities, but just need that precision and that clinical nature in front of net.
Yeah, I'm looking for more accuracy out of Big Truck, and some of these shots just aren't converting. Vivid puts in the corner. Spoods passes up half court. And now we see Dizzy challenging Vivid up in the air. That ball's waterfalling down. Unfortunately, no one from Big Truck is able to convert it in time. Spoods clears it out to the side. Tyro brings it back. And now challenge from Dizzy. Brings it back into the corner once again, and Jer keeps it out towards center, wants to pass it up. Instead, there's an opening, but again, another missed opportunity from Big Truck.
Yeah, I think they really gotta force some saves here. They're letting the woodwork do a lot of the saves here, and pickups, you know, they're allowing shots, but the shots aren't necessarily something that they have to worry about because they're not on target. They're hitting the post. They're, you know, kind of bumping into each other on the run-ups. It's not as threatening as they would like, and it's allowing pickups to get away with, you know, maybe not the cleanest positioning here. So Big Truck, they have to look for a punish here soon.
Yeah, and I don't know if pickups are going to give them a chance to punish them, because they're also just not respecting the shots. Like you said, pickups don't have to worry about Big Truck making a shot because they haven't been able to. They have that mysterious fourth defender on the field, the crossbar, the post. But maybe Tyro hears me talking smack and says, you know what, here's your goal. Stop talking about me like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's absolutely what we've seen. And, you know, even if there's a defender there, you do have to be a little bit precise to make sure you don't ground that directly into the defender in front of you. So they do a good job of hitting it hard on target. Now, any follow-up, there will be a demo. We'll be Dizzy in a difficult spot, but we'll be able to see that one away. Crucial here for pickups. I don't think they want to go to overtime, so I think they want to end it here. In Big Truck, I feel like it's again, maybe their comfort spot.
One thing you might have missed in the backfield there was Vivid out for blood, looking for Jer. Now Vivid on the attack again, but oh no, too aggressive. Gave up the opportunity to Spoods to redirect the pass from Dizzy and put it right into the net.
Oh, man. I mean, you have to see, the third man has to see that Tyro is still in the corner and still there. Even if you get that 50, it's not really an advantageous play anymore because everyone's clustered there. But they dive on in, they kind of, you know, forget their place in the rotation, and now pickups have a lead. How can they hold on to it here?
Ball bounces off the post there. Tyro not able to find the shot. Instead, has to maintain control. Gives it over to Woo, but Woo is immediately challenged by Jer. Tyro doesn't have the boost. Off the post, though. Just a bit of a reprieve for the Big Trucks, but maybe not entirely. Woo, or Vivid, shots on Dizzy, pops it up high over to Spoods. Spoods looking for a coast-to-coast carry. Gets a flip reset. Yep. That's going in. 3-1 now.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to call a game there. Literally, that flip reset's so huge because there's so much ground gained on that specific touch. So, I mean, that is absolutely clinical there. 16 seconds. I mean, Big Truck have to find something here soon, and they're not going to. One clear is going to be enough to cancel out all of that time, and pickups should be able to save them away. They will get their revenge, and they'll have their date in the grand finals.
Yeah, they will be facing off against Interteam Name, a team I don't believe they've had a chance to meet yet, if I remember correctly, and that will be our grand final, our grand finale of the best of 7 with a game advantage going to Interteam Name as well. It's going to be a tough fight, but we'll be going back to that shortly, folks. Don't forget to stick around. We'll be back with more of the Weekly Blizzard, sponsored by Trolley. Welcome back, folks. We are back with the grand final, best of 7 of the weekly Blizzard from Frost Esports RL, sponsored by Trolley. I'm once again your host, Ice Cold Brew, and I am joined once again by the wonderful Cobra. Cobra, we get to see both these teams match up for the first time, but we just saw the pickups win, and we saw inter-team name win as well. How do you feel about us going into this series right now? Who do you think is going to take away from it?
Yeah, I think team name is, not only at an advantage because of their gameplay, but I think the fact that they are going to be operating here with that one game advantage is going to be so helpful here. I feel like they're a team that does such a good job when they are confident, when they're playing carefree. And as they got further into the series, further with an advantage, that's what we started to see from them. So the fact that they already have that little bit of an edge, they have a little bit of rest as well. I think they're going to come into the series. I think they're going to start off very quickly. I think they're going to kind of just keep, gaining on to those wins and keep adding on.
Yeah, especially with a player like Gear in their squad as well too. Gear was had such a massive presence on the field. Yes, he could have been in one corner, but he put so much pressure on the opposing team, whether with demos, whether with bumps, whether with
Mhm.
passes. A lot of these things just worked in inter-team's name's favor and brought them that win, brought them such a dominant win. But we also saw a very dominant win from the pickups as well too, with that vision from Spoods and the pressure and passing and trust between Jer and Dizzy as well too. Even with the one game advantage, I don't think pickups are going to let Inter Team Name run away quietly into the night with a win here.
Yeah, well, I'm interested to see how this game plays out because I think we've seen both of these teams be able to apply pressure, and that's not necessarily the issue, but I think it's going to be which of these teams are able to absorb the pressure because we've seen both teams have some success early on in each of the series that we've seen, but let's see the response here. It looks like Jonathan, maybe a little bit of an awkward touch as they kind of roll over, but Peps looking to move on through. Can't quite get around that one. And it looks like both teams trying to set the tone early here.
Yeah, both teams setting the tone and both being very aggressive. These are both teams who have scored early on in the match. And you can see a mistouch from Spoods there. Tries to pass it back to Jared, but no one's on the back line. Jonathan can't make it back in time, and Jared's able to take that first goal. There's that early goal I was waiting for there.
Yeah, I was about to say that is a ball in the midfield that draws two players for enter team name, and unfortunately one a little bit awkward. Gear not realizing that their teammate didn't have a good percentage chance of actually getting that touch, and kind of follows along quickly there in support. And oh, what a touch by Jer. That doesn't lead to a goal, but my oh my, calm in front of the net. And right now, enter team name a little bit baffled in their own corner. They can't seem to get the ball where they want. Finally, a little bit of a breath, but it only gets as far as the midfield.
Just a little bit of confusion going on there as Dizzy carries it over the corner, tries to pass it out. Spoods instead picks it up, tries to center it for Jer. Gear able to take it away though. And you can see the ball's going over towards the net. Gear with the pass from Hebs ties it back up 1-1.
Yeah, see, these are the kind of things that I think are going to be really important here because we know that both these teams can apply pressure. Both these teams can lock you down on your own side if you're not careful. But which of these two squads can do that more? The transition play, finding someone downfield, because it's a really risky play that, almost cherry pick, sending someone downfield and hoping that the pass get there. The pass has to be so precise, and Dizzy needs to be oh so precise there. The touch for the chip all the way on their own side, and that just goes in.
Look at the power behind that first touch. Tries to follow it up just in case it goes a little bit low. But Dizzy carrying it over, just catching the entire team name squad off guard with that carry. And now Gear on the back foot right now, trying to drive his team forward. Hebs tries to pick that up from the center, but instead, Spoods will pass it over to Jer. Jer back passes to Dizzy. Jonathan, very dangerous touch into that corner there as Gear brings it up field. A little bit of loss of control there. Probably wanted a wave dash, but could not find it. And now Once again, we find Enter-Team Name on the defense, trying to make something work, trying to get the ball past. They are able to do so. Habs getting the read from Jonathan there.
Yeah, I was just about to mention how I felt like Enter-Team Name were, lacking a little bit of that cleanness, lacking a little bit of that form. And as soon as I say that, they're able to pull that goal out of a hat, really just trusting that the ball would be there. A really good pass across. I mean, Enter-Team Name, I feel like they're able to make the most of, the form of each of their players. And, right now doing a really incredible job just trying to get everyone involved. Hep's having a really good game one here so far. A goal, assist to save for them. So really, maybe looking for the triple double here. They're trying to get, another lead here for Enter-Team Name.
Yeah, and we can see Dizzy, smart save, brings it down to the corner though, but Hebs is on top of him immediately. Spoods carries the ball away. Jonathan immediately cuts in, shuts that down with no hesitation. Gear gets challenged for the ball in the air. Spoods wants to carry it over. Can Hats get there in time? No, he pinches it instead, and Spoods able to pick up another goal, giving one across the board for team pickups.
Yeah, I mean, pickups are finding a lot of success, in the air. Spoods did a really good job of getting over one player that was really trying to just disrupt from the back of that rotation and had absolutely no problem getting past the goalkeeper. They're going to try and continue this attacking play. Jer corner and to the middle of the field. Heps will deflect that one away for now, but has to be very quick to this one. They do not stop. They do not let go. Dizzy will be the recipient of that pass. But again, multiple players waiting in the corner, and they'll send it right into danger.
You can see Heps realizing the mistake he's made, but he has to commit at that point and hope it's a mistouch. But Jer just able to pass it out to Dizzy, finds another goal for pickups right now. And they're looking like they do not care about the game advantage. They are not thinking about it in this moment. But Big Truck right now looking to struggle a bit more, still trying to find that aggression from that first series we saw them play. What if you were in the Big Truck shoe right now? What would you... if you were in their driver's seat, I should say, what would you be doing to alleviate some of this pressure you're facing? Spoods with a fantastic shot.
Well, Big Truck, they're sitting waiting for the results of this one, as Enter-Team Name is the one on the field. But if I was Enter-Team Name, I would, be trying to, kind of slow down the pace. I feel like they're maybe trying to be a little bit too precise on exactly what they're trying to do. Maybe trying to get back to the form that we saw in the last on screen here. But as of right now, again, they're missing some of these touches where they're sending multiple at it. I think they're lacking a little bit of that control factor here. So they have to get the back to a point where they feel confident in multiple aspects of the game, and I feel like there's just a little bit of waywardness here.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. And one thing I'm missing out on is Gears just going back to that aggression mentioned earlier, Gears' aggressiveness on the field, usually demoing the backline, disrupting rotations, making it really hard for the opposing team to find their space. But right now it feels like pickups have just shut Gear down. And now we see Dizzy take that ball off the hood of Gear. Heps in the corner, deflects it out towards center. Spood tries to put shot on target. Instead, Jonathan with the save booms it upfield with the help of Gear. Back in the corner, Dizzy comes down off the ceiling, down the corner, brings it over to the half-court line. Doesn't have the boost to play, though. Gives it a soft touch back to Spoods as Heps tries to counter. This is a very dangerous placement. Maybe Enter-Team Name get another point? No. Spoods deflects and sends it off and away. And Gear puts it right back in. Never mind.
Yeah, only for so long there, and it felt like they did, get as far away as they could. But Gear realized that there was a little bit more space there to be exploited. So a quick turn heavy on the handbrake there, and they will get that one to go. Still possible here. They score a goal immediately. They could make this one interesting, but one touch for pickups, and they might be able to see this one away. A goal wouldn't hurt either, but won't be needed now. Pickups will get this game to go, technically game 2 with the advantage, and they will even up the series as soon as the ball touches the ground.
Ooze just wanted one more to take home for himself, but instead hit that crossbar. But still a very dominant performance from Pickups. They kind of just carried it off and away, and feels very unusual for Enter Team Name. And I kind of credit that to the break they had, just a
Yep.
little bit of ice on the team. And now we're looking at a series 1-1 between Pickups and Enter Team Name, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, they gave up 14 shots. Pickups had 14 shots. I mean, you don't typically see good results when you're giving up that much pressure. Enter team name only 7 shots. I mean, they had some pretty solid ones. Uh, but I mean, right now it's Pickups having all of the pressure there. So we will see how that goes. They have to find a way to get in front of these and really take care of the ball in their corners. So we'll see how this kind of progresses as they move forward here. But game number 3 technically tied up, and they, immediately the Pickups get rid of that game advantage.
Now it's anyone's game. Series tied at the moment. And it looks like Spood's going to be taking this ball off the kickoff. Tries to bring it down at the ceiling. Has a lucky bounce, but a little bit too high. Gear knocks it away immediately. Can Jer find that corner shot? No. Habs with the save, credited to them on that, as Gear maintains control. Spoods a little bit too slow. Gear gets it around Spoods. Wants to take a flip reset. Pops it up high off the backboard, and Jer knocks it away over to Spoods back to the half-court line.
It's looking really clean right now and kind of filling in that role of just like, an initiator, a catalyst, and find themselves in a really good position so far. But, Enter team name. Want to try and keep this one close, find a little bit of that momentum here in the middle of the field. As Gear forced to fall back, doesn't really like the look as they're staring down multiple attackers here for Pickups, and that almost gets all the way through.
Yeah, Gear waiting patiently on that back line, looks to see where Spoods is going and is able to get that save. Still on defense in the moment, but Spoods passes over to Dizzy. Dizzy pops it up high, and Gear is there waiting for it. Immediately jumps up, takes it to the corner, but that might be a mistake as he bumps into Jonathan. Spoods immediately nails the back of the net with the goal.
Yeah, Spoods didn't think that actually fall down, thought that there would at least be one player clear that in the corner, notices no one's going to get a look, and they take that shot quickly here. First goal here in game number 3, and right now, Pickups, they have not stopped at all.
Yeah, Pickups. It took him a little while to find that first goal. It's not within the first minute as usual, but now we see Spoods tries to force that ball out of the corner towards center field. Heps comes off the side of the wall. Dizzy passes down to Spoods. Spoods gets deflected by Dizzy, I believe, on that one, but Jer is very fortunate, maintains possession, though. Brings it down, over, around, and Gear carries it off away.
Right now, Enter team name, they just have to find an exit out of their own side, and I think we have to see the first touch. I mean, I think it was something that I talked about when we saw Enter team name last. I think their first touch was a really big part of their game, and it doesn't seem quite as together as it was earlier, but they move on. They're getting good looks downfield when they kind of play that dump and chase play style, but it's not really helping them defensively all that much.
It's really not, but I do want to give a shout out to Gear there. It goes for a bump on the defender, and unfortunately, if that ball was just a little bit more to the right, it would have been tie game for Enter team name. But now, ball flying up half court, down to Spoods, who tries to pass it down to Dizzy. Instead, Jonathan has to fly up the wall, tries to bring it down to Gear. Gear,
oh no,
misses a touch. Heps misses it as well. Ball flying back to the defensive side of Enter team name. They're just finding difficulty every offensive push they go through right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're really going to have to battle out here, and Jonathan will look for the air dribble bump. Can't quite clear enough room as Gear, looking for something, will be denied there again. And it's really Enter team name. They're trying to fabricate a goal here. They're trying to make something happen, and just maybe missing a few key pieces here. And Jer not missing anything on that shot. It is 2-0.
Booz throws it up high off the backboard, and Jer's already in position. Just needed to jump up and angle up high in order to find that shot. Brings it 2-0, and Enter Team Name is just struggling to find their way right now. Gear at the highest score, only with 2 saves, but unable to find a single shot in their favor right now.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like they're really trying to chase the play. They're not really, controlling. It's a lot of reactivity because it feels like they're not, in control of it. They're really playing to the whim of pickups, and it's really difficult to get a read on what this team's doing when really all 3 players, Dizzy, Jared, Spoods, playing fantastic games here as they'll send it over to the corner, restarting the attack yet again as Spoons off the top, the ceiling, maybe following it up, but not going to be there immediately.
Yeah. You can see Dizzy backing up, looking for a better chance for a 50. Instead, ball flies over to Spoods, and now Jer carrying it over the net, dangerously in front of the spot. Dizzy pops it up high, though. Gears chasing after it. Looks for a double tap opportunity, skims it, but Jonathan's able to find the back of the net, though, after the soft touch from Gear.
Yeah, this all started on a little bit of a scary touch. Again, Jared tried to take that and dribble that from above the goal and just couldn't quite get the distance. A little bit of a questionable look there from pickups, but they still do have a little bit of a buffer in this game. And now the Enter Team Name can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe something to end the grievances here, and Heps will find the equalizer, and now this team can really get going.
Gear, good placement in the corner, challenges Jared, disrupts the rotation, forces Dizzy to be in an awkward spot in the back line too, and Hebs, just good accuracy, honestly, just finds an opportunity, and now we see Dizzy flying uphill, tries to get a shot, Spoods tries to force it in, but instead gets knocked off and away. 25 seconds left, it's tie game in the moment, but both teams looking for a chance to just break away from the other before OT hits.
Here, trying to continue on to this one. We'll have to retreat. Not a lot of boost for either side right now. And final 10 seconds. Probably one more opportunity here for Enter Team Name. Heps has enough boost, but needs a running mate. It will be a shot here by Jonathan, but just a little wide. It will be overtime in game number 3.
Overtime, and right now I feel like Enter Team Name has the momentum, but we see Spoods bring that ball to Jer. Jer not able to find it, but Jer instead finds a body and shoves him out of the way like a linebacker chasing after I lost my metaphor there.
Running back, ball carrier, wide receiver, quarterback, something like that.
Something.
I mean, that is such a heartbreaker of an overtime because it ends in a flash. It did not take very long, and for Enter Team Name, who felt like they battled back, they really had to kind of get into form and manufacture some sort of response there. Nothing really in the cards there at the end. Again, it was a good shot, a good bump to open the back line. So we will see how this progresses here. But now pickups take the series advantage here.
Yeah, pickups 2-1, 9 shots as well. I feel like they never really let off the gas pedal except for the later half of the match when Enter Team Name started finding some life in them. But then after that, they found the life in them and immediately just grabbed it and put some dirt over it, just covered it up entirely. Now pickups still a lot of momentum on him. Can Jonathan carry this ball over? No, gets knocked down back to the half court line. But pickups, I feel like they might have all the momentum they need to win this series.
Yeah, I think it's showed a really good progression for them, that they were able to they had the comeback. It's a scary position, especially with a team as talented as Enter Team Name, for them to be back in a series like that, but able to quickly stomp out the fires of a comeback and the fires of overtime there. Really goes to show what kind of team has entered this grand finals here. But it'll be a fresh slate here as game number 4. It's big here for Enter Team Name as they try to even it up, but Jer might not care about that at all. Opens up an opportunity for Dizzy, and they will put it away.
Jared's smart placement there, just has to kill the ball on the post, even with Gear in the way. Gear bounces off like a basketball, but the ball just needs to go into the net in order to give the pickups the lead right now. Fantastic work from them. But yeah, you have to wonder where Entertainment Name's mentality is, especially after how quick of an OT that is.
Yeah.
As they give up the first point to the pickups in this match, with them having the pickups having the advantage.
Yeah, I mean, I think the team's honestly feeling it a little bit. You know, I just seeing, them in the chat. I think they're ready to go. They're ready. They've been on for quite a long time, and they would like the win, but they want to get a going with this. And Jonathan will take advantage, takes a shot quickly past everyone on the back line. Equalizer here with 3:40 to go.
You just saw everyone on the same side of the field and said, okay, let me put it on the opposite side. Let me just put it inside the post on that side, and I'll tie it up easily. But now Dizzy takes it off the kickoff, loses their life, but finds a goal behind that as well, too. Just a quick fire rally between goals at the moment.
I feel so bad for Gear there as they're watching that player, knowing that they have a little bit more momentum, and Gear trying to get to the right spot, unable to do so, and still dangerous here. Dizzy looking to put a quick shot on, and that will be just deflected away. Wonderful job by Heps to see that one off, and the defensive job not over just yet. Gear will get that to the midfield, and Enter Team Name have to do all they can to try and maintain any hold on the ball.
Yeah, now we see Hebs carry the ball over to the side, immediately finds a pickups player on that wall. Spoods with the touch. Dizzy centers for Jer. Jer lands a little bit awkward, but maybe Dizzy can pop it over to the defender. Jonathan with the save. And Jonathan trying to pass it up to Gear. Gear hits it a little bit too hard, tries to bring it down low, but no one's able to pick it up. No one's able to recover in time. It's just too far out of a pass. Maybe Jonathan can fix it up. Gear flies up high and goes just barely off target into the corner for Dizzy to carry it up and away.
Yeah, I feel like they're really, trying to force the issue here because the rotation, it feels a little bit awkward because I feel like, the communication between the second and third man is a little bit tense. I think they're really trying to force opportunities to open up, and the third man is getting further and further up in their positioning here. Ball in front. Spoods will go for it. Dangerous 50. If that one goes astray, that is a goal for the side of Enter Team Name. But Dizzy finds himself with space. One to beat. Looking for the flick. And a great defensive stop for Gear. Can they stop the double? It will be done. Hep sees it away and keeps them alive.
And yet, Heps is once again met on the side of the wall by Spoods at that moment. Oh! And Spoods carries it over to Dizzy, who pops it up and gives it to Jer for another goal.
I mean, they just do not give up. Dizzy, I mean, that's a wonderful dish, and that goes all the way across. Jared gets all of that, putting enough pace to keep that away from the defense. I mean, Enter Team Name, they were fighting for that defensive possession. It felt like they were in all the right spots, but just ran out of room. And now they'll be down by 2, possibly 3 if they don't stop this offensive pressure here.
And now we have Jonathan carrying it over the backboard, wants to clear it as far as he can over into the corner, puts it in the corner for the shot. Spoods pops it up high. Gear touches it back down into the corner. Spoods challenges Hebs. Hebs looking for a double tap here, brings it down and in. Fantastic challenge from Hebs. Sees Spoods pop it up high and sees an opportunity and takes it immediately.
Yeah, it's really decisive there, and just not leaving anything to chance there. We'll just go after it. Realizes that they probably have the better look, even though Gear is looking for the read as well. They realize they have the angle, they have the boost and the resources in order to get something on net. Jer actually will send that directly on. That's a dangerous ball straight down, but it will be parried aside for now. Quick fire shot yet again, and Gear will see that one away, trying to follow up. And a minute remaining. We still have plenty of time for fireworks in this one.
And I don't know if folks saw that in the backcourt, but you can see Heps and Spoods currently in a Rule 1 right now. It's a 2v2 in the moment. Time to see some real 1v1 playstyle skills showing up between both squads. Jonathan, no boost to play with. Challenges Jer. Jer forces it into the corner, but Gear pops out, gets onto the ball. Heps and Spood still fighting it out for that roll one. Jer with the demo on Jonathan. Ball flies over to the corner for Dizzy to take control of.
Yeah, this might favor Enter Team Name. I mean, Spoods has been all over the place, but I don't think this one is going to be easy. That will be the beat. Heps will break it to try and defend the goal line, and let's see how the Rocket League gods feel about that one. Final 10 seconds here. Looking for the shot. Goes low. Deflected off. Final shot. Jonathan will get it to go. I think there was a team bump, a Goomba stomp on the back line. Look at Jer off the top. I think they denied Dizzy the chance at that one.
Epps claiming to have lagged out of it, but ties up the game. Looks like it went in their favor. I wasn't looking at him. I can't tell, and as far as I can see, his ping is fine, so we will see. Spoods takes that ball into the corner. Jonathan pops it up high. Dizzy lets the ball hit the ground, and we're in familiar territory for the pickups. They have won a kickoff quick for the game here, and Spoods is able to carry it over. Soft touch, brings it over the backboard, and Gear clears it out off the backboard.
Now, opportunity here as Heps. There's a little bit of position here. Dizzy will clear it middle. Dangerous ball as Gear was waiting for that exact touch. Will settle down in the corner. Gear falling away from this one. A little bit of shadow defense. Booz looking for a friend. Possible shot. And the ball does not lie. Jer will put it away. And pickups yet again will win in overtime. It does not take them long.
Pickups just maintaining dominance and finding their favor in OT. Less than 30 seconds. And also just a bit of payback on Heps there. Just don't break a rule one. Let it fly. But in the end, the ball, like you said, does not lie. And Pickups will take this victory for themselves. I believe that brings us up 2-1 now.
That is 3-1. That is
3-1.
Game number 4. So the Pickups, now on series and tournament point here. Yeah, the ball don't lie. It's one of my favorite things as a person who loves sports and is all about superstition. The ball don't lie. And another really wonderful game here for the Pickups is they have 13, not quite 14, 13 shots on target. I think their team name did a really good job of you keeping that one close. And are they able to continue this one into what could be the final game? They want to extend the series. They have not yet won here. Again, their game that they won is off the advantage that they earned, but they have not gotten a victory yet in this series. They are looking for their first game win here.
Yeah, and we can see Gear immediately coming out with the demos, just working out some aggression on the other team. Jathan takes the pass from Heps and is able to find it into the back of the net there. Fantastic pass from Heps, but smart bump from Gear as well, too, on that last defender.
I think if Gear is instilling some fear in that back line, I think things are going to go well for Enter Team Name. I mean, they don't necessarily need to be on the ball to have an impact. I think there's a lot of things that they do that really make this team kind of work smoothly. And, Heps and Jathan, I think they do a ton of things really well. And if Gear can help enable that and kind of break this rhythm that Pickups have gotten in, the more the better. But Spoods has been in this situation before. The flip reset pushes it through. Equal here.
I need to see the replay of how this worked out. Just the softest touch and just enough push on Jathan to push him into the back of the net to get that goal.
I didn't realize that he got the bump there. I thought it was just off the crossbar, but the flip reset into the air dribble bump. I mean, what a play. Spoons has had a couple of clip-worthy montage kind of goals here in this tournament so far. We'll see if that continues, but right now all equal here, 4 minutes to play.
Yeah, it's either Spoods causes the play to work out or makes the play work out with a goal of his own, and now goes up to challenge Heps. But Heps wants to bring the ball down, tries to pinch it, instead goes for a bump on Dizzy.
Oh, man.
Jathan takes advantage, and it's a repeat of the first goal. They will take the lead once more.
I mean, Dizzy looks like a deer in headlights here. There's so many things to consider with Heps kind of bearing down and Jathan having a really good angle on that shot. Nothing really he could do as a defensive player in that situation. And, you just got to tip your hat, let that one go, and go next.
And now Spoods looking for another opportunity here. Gets denied by Heps, though. Catching Wise to the flip reset. Shuts it down. Jer pops it all the way over to the other side. Gear flies off the backboard to get a touch on that. Jathan puts it into the corner instead. And now we have Jer. Slows it down a little bit. Wants to maintain control. But Heps might have found the back of the net. Crossbar saves the day, though. You got to trust that woodwork to come in when you need it most. And Gear tries to find a goal. And Jer with the save this time.
Yeah, right now I'm really liking the attack here by Enter Team Name. They're really getting pickups to be static on the goal line where they have to wait and see. They have to react to what Enter Team Name is doing. And I think that is why you're seeing so much pressure here by the side in blue. But finally, pickups do find a little bit of space. They relieve the pressure and able to get a little bit of boost, maybe a shot on target as well. Dizzy directly into the teeth and will be parried aside.
Carried aside by Gears and Hep. Heps gets the credit on, though. Hep's now throwing upfield, trying to get it to Gear. Unfortunately, Dizzy's in the way. Ball staying afloat in the moment as Jathan challenges and knocks off Jer. Spoods last one back, but there's not much help in the moment. Jer's able to get back to back post. Jathan steps away. Gear with the bump on Jer. Now we see Dizzy pop it over to Spoods. Ball still alive, heading over into striking distance. Knocked away by Heps. We can see Dizzy challenge Heps once again. Gear wants to get around Spoods. Looking for that double tap opportunity. Denied by Jer, though, as Dizzy takes control.
Dizzy has a lead blocker here. Are they going to be able to find this one in? They will be able to do so. They're so comfortable on the right side of the net, and Jer, doing their best to kind of throw off the defensive rotation there. And I mean, Dizzy, the flick, the follow-up just to make sure it goes in, and it will be a tied game, 2-2, 2 minutes ago.
That flick from Dizzy felt very reminiscent of my own, especially in ones, but they actually scored, carrying it in, and Heps wants to bring the lead back in their favor right now. Jathan pops that ball all the way over to the corner on pickup side. Dizzy challenges for a 50. Gear centers it, but there's Jer passing it up to Dizzy. This looks like a good passing opportunity for pickups as Dizzy gets shut down for the pass, and Spoods has to maintain focus here, try to get her around the defenders.
Oh, man.
Knocked away, though.
Enter Team Name look a little bit awkward here. I think they're really needing a little bit of breath. They're barely holding on to their boost here as they rotate back, both at the near post. Do find a little bit of space, but Spoods is there. Passes it across to Dizzy. Dizzy trying to work out of the corner. Gets denied by Jathan, and now Heps. Not enough boost to catch up to this one, and Dizzy will send this to the side. Gear mistouch there. Heps hits him out of the way, and it looks a little bit awkward and labored. Them on the other side, near post shot, and my oh my, pickups are starting to build some steam here.
Gear had to dodge so many demos in order for that to work. Jathan with the fantastic save off the crossbar. Spoods tries to put it back on, back over to Jer. Jer knocks it away into the corner, but still has possession in the moment. Jathan breaks away with it. Carries it up the side, gets it away from one. Back over to Gear, back over the backboard. Too far, though, to make a difference. So instead, Jer will float it up towards half court. And maybe Heps is looking for Jathan once again. But instead, Spoods is able to break it off and take it away.
Yeah, both these teams, it's final moments here. The shot somehow makes it through, and I thought Dizzy didn't really have an angle. I don't know if they saw an opening, but two on the backboard, they thought they might as well take a shot in Gear. Maybe hit the brakes a little too hard, not able to cover that one, and that is a late goal. Only a few seconds to correct.
Only a few seconds to correct, but the pickups remain indomitable, just maintaining pressure the entire time. Now, 4 seconds left on the clock. Gear has to make a difference here. Pops it up high, gets a demo on Dizzy. Jathan misses the touch, though. Heartbreak for Enter Team Name, but a grandstanding victory for the pickups, though.
I mean, that is a tough pill to swallow, but I mean, all credit to pickups. I mean, they really took the series and took it by the horns. They absolutely created the pace. They stuck to it, and for a team that, enter team name, we saw what they were capable of. They didn't quite have the same, impact on the field as they would have liked. I think that's just, these three players on pickups. I think that's all them just kind of dominating the field.
Yeah, just a lot of trust, a lot of chemistry, and I think a lot of y'all in chat were clued in on how well the pickups would mesh together. 63% of y'all will be running away with some more channel points in your book, while the other 37%, unfortunately, the other third of y'all, a little bit of heartbreak on the field right now, but fantastic work from the pickups. Just great chemistry, great passes, some fantastic shots as well. Some of them very unexpected in how they went in, but very talented as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And not to mention, they got knocked down to the lowers. The lowers is such a tough path to go through. Again, in a few of those rounds, you are dealing with best of ones. They had to play a couple best of one matches. They had to go up against Nightblood Gaming, who we saw at the beginning of the stream, and then the rematch against Big Truck to get back to this point. And really, they were just absolutely phenomenal towards the end of this run. I mean, to basically get here. I mean, technically a sweep, but a gentleman's sweep considering the game advantage. But they did not give up a game on the field in this grand final.
Yeah, and even if they went into overtime, it was quick. It was done within a minute, maybe
Yeah.
less if they pushed it. And you never really felt like they were giving up. But Cobra, thank you so much for joining me on this cast. Shout out to Nick as well for being our broadcaster as well. Folks, this is Frost Esports RL, sponsored by Trolley. We have weekly tournaments just like this every Tuesday for Rocket League. Come back on Thursday for Valorant as well to come check that out. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. Have a good evening.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's stop this conversation. Let's stop this conversation. We got no relation. It's crazy. You could save me from my isolation. My too complicated. Stop this conversation.